Nigeria is indeed a blessed nation with many resources and manpower, but the mismanagement of these resources have plunged the country into massive poverty and hardship despite their abundance. Let's get enlightened on the major source of the nation's wealth, crude oil. Nigeria's economy was solely dependent on agriculture prior to the discovery of crude oil in 1956. In Oloibiri, this discovery was made by Shell, the Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria, a consortium of Shell and British Petroleum, then known as Anglo Iranian. Prior to this discovery in Oloibiri, Shell has commenced drilling work in 1951 with the first test well drilled in Owerri area, and oil was discovered in non-commercial quantities at Akata near Ekiti in 1953. The company was unrelenting despite the fact that it had spent £6 million but was yet to find oil in commercial quantities. Eventually, the company discovered commercially available oil in Oloibiri, and this has been the precursor of many more discoveries over the last 60 years. Initially, Shell BP was appointed as the sole concessionaire of oil exploration in the country, but oil companies were later given exploratory rights in the onshore and offshore areas from 1960 onwards. Currently, Nigeria has a total of 159 oil fields and 1,481 wells in operation based on data from the Department of Petroleum Resources. The most productive oil fields are located in the coastal Niger Delta basin in the Niger Delta, popularly called South-South. There are 78 oil fields in this region. In terms of oil discovery, one of the giant strides Shell made was in 1965, when the company discovered the EA field in the shallow waters of southeastern part of Warri. After the Biafran War in 1970, a rise in oil price meant a period of abundance in the country, and it was during this period the country joined the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. In 1977, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, was established as a state-owned controlled company involved in the upstream and downstream oil sectors. During the late 60s and early 70s, Nigeria was producing over 2 million barrels of crude oil per day, and by 2010, the figure had increased to 4 million barrels per day. Currently, Nigeria produces an average of 1.6 million barrels of crude oil per day, which makes the country the largest producer of oil in Africa. The production of petroleum in Nigeria plays a very important role, as over 90% of the country's gross earnings comes from crude oil. These oil-producing states include Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, Lagos, Imo, Rivers, Ondo, and Anambra, respectively. Abia State has over 100 wells and 3 installed flow stations that produces 36,000 barrels of crude oil per day. As of 2012, the Boundary Commission revealed that it returned 42 oil wells from neighboring Rivers State to Abia, which made Abia the 4th largest oil-producing state in Nigeria. Shell holds most of the license for the wells in Abia, with a focus on 50 wells that it has considered high yield. Akwa Ibom is the highest oil and gas producing state in Nigeria, with over 500,000 barrels produced daily. Nigeria obtains the greatest proportion of its crude oil from Akwa Ibom. The state is expected to be one of Nigeria's wealthiest states. It is also Nigeria's most developed state. Established in 1987, located in the country's South-South region. Bayelsa State is one of the largest crude oil and natural gas deposits in the country. Unfortunately, despite the crude oil found in the state, the majority of Bayelsans live in poverty. Yenagoa, the state's capital city, is subject to varying degrees of oil pollution, and as a result of oil spillage, aquatic animals in the state's water have been severely harmed. Delta State is the second major producer of oil and gas in the country, with a daily output of 346,000 barrels. The state has one of the largest deposits of crude oil and natural gas in the country. Apart from its crude oil deposits, Delta is also rich in natural resources like limestone, decorative rocks, tar sand, kaolin, lignite, silica, and industrial clay. Edo State is the 7th largest producer of oil and gas in the country, with a daily output of 33,000 barrels. The state also produces mineral resources like limestone and quarry. Edo State is rich in culture and tradition, and it has many artifacts, making it one of the most popular tourist destinations. Imo State is located in Nigeria's southeastern region, with over 163 oil wells at 12 different locations in the state. accounting for approximately 17,000 barrels of crude oil for the country. This Igbo-speaking state is also endowed with abundant natural resources such as zinc, lead, limestone, and clay. Imo State has ranked number 1 in terms of digital innovation and entrepreneurship development among the states of the Federation. Lagos State is ranked 6th with daily production estimated at 40,000 barrels. Crude oil production in Lagos is just a small fraction of revenue generated by the state each year. Lagos is one of few states in the country that has been able to generate revenue from other sources apart from crude oil. Rivers State produces an estimated 344,000 barrels per day. It was the largest oil-producing state in Nigeria until Akwa Ibom took over. Rivers State is now the 3rd largest oil producer in Nigeria. The state produces up to 21% of Nigeria's crude oil daily and has the largest crude oil refinery in the country. Rivers State is also one of the richest states in Nigeria, and its capital city, Port Harcourt, is one of the most developed cities in the country. Several multinational and indigenous oil companies are located in Port Harcourt, the administrative capital of Rivers State. These include the likes of Shell Petroleum Development Company, Chevron, Total Nigeria, Oando, and many more. Ondo State is the 5th oil-producing state in the country, accounting for about 3.74%, producing over 60,000 barrels of oil per day. The capital city of Ondo State is Akure, located in Nigeria's southwestern region. This is a peaceful city rich in crude oil and other natural resources such as bitumen, making it Nigeria's largest supplier of tar and bitumen and also one of the most beautiful in Nigeria. Do you find this video interesting, informative, and educative? Kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channels for more. This is our discovery for today. See you next time.